Hello guys, what is up? My name is Dan the Delight and today I'm bringing you another FIFA 21 player review. This time the man that we've got in question is Wilfred Ndidi, the man from Leicester and from Nigeria. He's the 84 overall rated CDM, and let's jump into the stats. So as you probably know if you've seen any of the other reviews, we'll jump into his actual stats on the card, then we'll get into some gameplay and I'll let you know sort of if the stats reflect how he plays in the actual game. So just starting off there, we've got a 71 pace, 62 shooting, 68 passing, 74 dribbling, 87 defending and 84 physical. Sounds more like a centre back than a like a centre defensive mid, centre mid kind of player, but we'll get into that in a moment. So he's 6 foot, medium high work rate, so he will like to sit back, right footed, 3-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot, which is pretty good for a CDM to be honest. I paid 25,500 coins at the time of recording this. He might have gone up, might have gone down at that point in time that you're watching this, but let's get into the attribute details and see how all of these stats are broken down. Alright, so we've got the 71 pace, which is made up of 70 acceleration and 72 sprint speed, 62 shooting, which is made up of 67 attack positioning, 50 finishing, 80 shot power, 72 long shots, 66 volleys, 55 penalties, 68 passing, which is made up of 67 vision, 50 crossing, 58 free kick accuracy, 79 short pass, 75 long pass and 58 curve. Dribbling, which is made up of 69 agility, 67 balance, 87 reactions, 70 ball control, 72 dribbling, 80 composure, 87 defending, which is made up of 90 interceptions, 76 heading accuracy, 87 defensive awareness, 89 standing tackle, 85 sliding tackle, and the 84 physical, which is made up of 90 jumping, 92 stamina, 78 strength, and 87 aggression. So standout stats really, as you can probably work out for yourselves, is the 87 defending and the 84 physical. They are very good stats, especially for like a midfielder. That's sort of what you'd expect for a centre back to have. And the standout there is like the 90 interceptions, the 89 standing tackle. Very, very good stats. Exactly what you want for a solid central defensive midfielder. Alongside the 84 physical, which is really good as well. Obviously the passing and the shooting are very, so we'll see exactly how that is in game compared to what the stats show. 71 pace is okay, nothing spectacular, but for a midfielder it's not too bad, and the 74 dribbling is sort of average as well. But the defending and the physical is what this guy is all about. He is a central defensive midfielder. That is his job. He's not meant to be going up there and trying to score goals and get all these luxurious passes and everything. So on the look at the stats, he should make the perfect central defensive midfielder. So I'm going to jump into some gameplay now and we'll see exactly how that translates into the game, and I'll give you my thoughts on how he feels in game. After that we'll get back these stats and I'll give you what I think his stats really are when you actually play with him, and then we'll go into where he sits on my my chart. So let's get into the gameplay now. Alright, so you're going to see some gameplay clips on the screen of Wilfred Ndidi. I'm just going to talk about how he feels actually in the game. So, first off I'm going to start by saying 71 pace is a liar. He feels a lot faster than 71 pace. He didn't feel slow or sluggish or anything to me, so I definitely think that stat is definitely not true. The shooting, maybe. He did score twice for me, which was a bit weird because I didn't think he'd even be up into the position to be scoring. But he did score a couple of goals for me, and he it wasn't too bad. The goals that he did score were alright, but anything else, I did try a few other shots with him, didn't quite get the job done. I'm not going to lie. So the shooting, that's not what he's for. The dribbling as well, it's not what he's for. He's not the sort of player that you're going to just dribble around and get into good positions. That's what an attacking midfielder is for, a winger. So the way that I found was the most useful when using Ndidi was give him the ball, take a touch, move it on. He's not the sort of player that you're going to want to have the ball for too long. He'll get the ball off of the opponent and then pass it on to someone that can do the other bits and bobs. The defensive side of things, 100%, like that was bang on. He was brilliant. He was great at the defensive side of things, which is exactly what you want when you're buying a central defensive midfielder. That's why you've got a CDM in there. So definitely the defensive side of things, pucker. The passing, incredible. So much better than what the stat says on the card. His passing was great. The short passing in particular, he set up a couple of goals. He got into some good positions to set some people up, and I'd say I can't compliment the passing enough. And that is what I was saying earlier, where you get it to him, you get it off him, because his passing's good. So you can get the ball into him, or he'll intercept or tackle someone to get the ball, and then you just pass it and get it away from him, because that is where he's at his best. He will get the ball and distribute it well. Physical side of things, he pushes people off the ball. He doesn't get pushed off himself really. So definitely the sort of player that you want in your team in that CDM position. So I'll jump into the actual attribute stats that he's got on the card, and I will give you my opinion on what his stats actually do feel like. So the 71 pace is an absolute lie. He feels a lot more like 77, 78 pace, to be honest. He should not be having 71 pace by any means necessary at all. 62 shooting, maybe a little bit high. He did score 2 goals for me, but his shot power was good. His long shots didn't feel as good as what it says, but his finishing felt quite good. So it's a bit of a mismatch really there, but I'd say give him about 65, 66 shooting. Not much difference really when you break it down, but his shooting definitely felt a little bit better than 62, but nothing spectacular. Into the passing. Now this is the one that really confuses me. How can you give this man 68 passing? I get that his actual short pass and long pass are good, but the vision and the curve should be up there as well. I didn't do any crosses with him, to be fair. He didn't find himself into that sort of position. I didn't take any free kicks with him, but his passing is miles better than 68. I'd say his passing should be about 75, 76. So we'll give him that, about 75, 76, maybe even higher. But we'll stop at the 75. Don't want to get too carried away. His dribbling at 74 actually feels about right, to be honest. I wouldn't give him any higher. I wouldn't give him any lower. I think 74 is a good stat for his dribbling. He did have good ball control, but he's not the sort of person that's just going to do any sort of weaving, ducking and diving, all that stuff. So yeah, decent dribbling, not the best. Defending 87, absolutely. One of the best defending stats in the Premier League. Maybe even, I don't know what Kante's is, but 87 defending for a central defensive midfielder is perfect. It's exactly what you want, and it is exactly how it feels in game. 87, and then the physical as well. I'd give him maybe even a bit higher. You could even go 85, 86 for the physical. It felt great. He felt strong. He wasn't sluggish on the ball really. His dribbling was a little bit, but he, as a player, he was turning into players and getting himself all over the place. Brilliant. So we'll get into if I think he is worth it. I paid 25k for him at the time of recording this video, and I have to say he is 100% worth the 25k that you'll be paying. He is a great player. He definitely is someone that you're going to be wanting to get into as a cheaper option for Kante. Perhaps I haven't used Kante just yet, but I'll probably be looking to get a review on him as well and compare the two. But at the moment, a cheaper option for Kante, if you can't afford Kante, is Wilfred Ndidi. He is fantastic. Can't recommend him enough. 25k, I'd pay 60k for the man. He is great. Honestly, it's a player that you need in that CDM position just to tighten things up, help the defence out. Can't recommend him enough. So we'll jump into where he sits on the chart now. He is the only CDM that I have reviewed, so he can only be the only one on the chart. However, I have reviewed Paul Pogba as well, and for value for money, I have to say that Ndidi would be number one still, just purely down to they're very similar players, and Ndidi's what, 10 times cheaper. I think you have to get yourself a Wilfred Ndidi. Let me